Hi, welcome to the Gando Tech Learning channel. So today we are going to start another exciting video in terms of the TeamCity. So as part of this basically video, we are covering the agenda, which is what is a TeamCity, TeamCity terminologies, and then an amazing walkthrough to create a new TeamCity account for free of charge, and then how to create a build project integrated with your GitHub repo, and then how to run a build, and some other bits and pieces in the TeamCity. So bear with us to see basically what would be the next step and how we're gonna start this video. So please watch our channel. There are a lot of exciting videos in terms of GitHub, in terms of the Docker, Kubernetes, and now TeamCity integration with GitHub. And there are lots of other videos. New videos are on their way in terms of TeamCity integration with Kubernetes and other exciting things. So bear with us, keep watching the channel. So to support us, please do subscribe to our channel to also get the notification of case of any new videos are uploaded, and to be able to get notification and then watch them. So please bear with us to go to the next step. So what is a TeamCity? So the TeamCity is a continuous integration tool, or sort of CI tool in abbreviation. And so it has been written by Java. It has been established by JetBrains company. And what it does is supporting the building and deploying the projects. And so as part of the TeamCity, so we just going through some terminologies which is happening inside the TeamCity worlds, like build agent, and it's a TeamCity engine. So in brief, and it's configured in the TeamCity server used to build and test the project. The other one is TeamCity server. It's where all the configuration required for the project is done. And build queue, it's basically where you can see the list of builds you already triggered, and you would be able to just move them up and down if you want, and if you want to reprioritize them. So the build, it's basically whole concept of processing of creating the application versions. And build artifacts, it's where the result of the build are stored there. So then you can go there and have a look basically what would be the results. And the project is like a parent or represent one application which contains single or multiple childs. So you can have basically your own main project, and then each project would be able to have some childs. So the build configuration is the combination of settings used for build, which can be source control, artifacts, deployment, whatever. And the build step is the steps which is used basically to build a project. And the build trigger, it defines when the build should be triggered. It can be scheduled or automated. So this is sort of a very brief presentation about the TeamCity, to just get your head around what is a TeamCity and what it does, and sort of keywords which could be used a lot or could be seen a lot in our walkthrough, to make you basically having more background about what's going on in terms of the TeamCities world. So please bear with us to go through the walkthrough and see how we are going to achieve those agenda. Right. So, as you can see, this is the TeamCity website, which is under the JetBrains.com, and this is the TeamCity product. So, where we are at the moment in the website is the place you can get the TeamCity. So, there are three ways you would be able to get the TeamCity and use it. The one way is downloading the application on your local and then install it and then configure it and run the build. The second way is using a Dockerized version to basically bring or pull the image on your um, local Docker and just run the image and just use the TeamCity. And the most famous one, which is the TeamCity Cloud Beta. So this is the one which is being run on cloud. So this is the cloud version of the TeamCity, which is free, and so you can get some features like 100 build configurations and some other features which you would be able to use it, and it's fairly enough for you to run your non-commercial builds and do run sort of your tests and projects to be able to use the TeamCity on your basically local and understand how the TeamCity is working and what is TeamCity. So um, uh, before going further, firstly you need to sign up with the TeamCity by clicking on. So first of all, we are going through the TeamCity Cloud, which is more popular and is more close to what is happening in the real world. Which companies are basically using, but they are using the licensed one, but it's similar to what we are going to do in beta version or the cloud version. So by clicking on sign up, in here you are going to create your own instance. So based on so it's just a naming whatever you want. For example, for our case, we are going to use the Gando Tech. Uh, um, we are using the Gando Tech instance, and also you are going to use your email address, which is basically the source of communication with TeamCity, and just accepting the terms and conditions, and then just hit the sign up. So after hitting that basically sign up, you will get a notification email on your application, which is on your email address, which is going to actually you need to go there and just make sure you are clicking on the invitation email to make your account actually activated. So, once you click on the link, it will take you to the GitHub, to the TeamCity website, and ask you to register a new user account. So there are two ways you can interacting with the TeamCity. First one is to easily going through the username and password and just create your own account and just run a register. Or there is other way, which is make you more integrated and easier to just use the same account for your GitHub and also the TeamCity. You can just easily going and log in through your GitHub account and make it completely integrated with your TeamCity. Which what we have done, we just use the login within the GitHub. So what once you click on the this account, it will take you through the page, which is accepting or asking you to give a permission to use a GitHub account, and then ask you to put your username and password. We get the GitHub actually credentials, and then as soon as you hit the button, then you will be in your TeamCity via your um, GitHub account. So easily you would be able to achieve this goal. And as you can see, the email address which has been verified, which says, okay, now TeamCity and GitHub are already integrated, and this email address is the verified account. And so these are some basically basic information about what you have um, in your account. And so you would have some basically features under your account which you can configure them. So you have got groups, rules, notification rules, and access tokens which you would be able to use them to configure your projects. Also, there is an administration tool which basically take you to that place, which is a most exciting place for everyone, every developer or DevOps engineer, which is going to create their own build project and just start building and using the CI. Also, as you can see, on the top, you have got the build queue. These are the terminologies which we already discussed in our slides, in our earlier presentations, and like agents. So by default, for this account, which is the free account, you would get three agents, one Windows, two Linux agents. So if you don't put any specific configuration. They are randomly based on which agent is free at the moment. So they will basically will be assigned to your build and then run your build for you, execute the build for you, and build your project. And if, for example, you have multiple builds which is going through in the same time, what will be happened? They will be queued in your build queue here. So you will see the list of all the builds which is going to be happen in the near future. And at the moment the build queue is empty. But if you have multiple builds, then you would be able to see the list of builds here, and you can easily reorder them and bring them up to basically to make them basically available to build earlier. And in the agent side, so you would be able to basically see your agents which is going to run the build against um, your builds. So as you can see, these are the build agents which is happening, and for each basically projects, and these are the information about those agents. And also the changes basically which basically happen to your projects. You would be able to watch them, and this is the other part of like a dashboard, which you would be able to see all your projects, build projects which you already created here, and just run or trigger your builds, or go through the details of those builds, and you can recategorize them. So it's absolutely up to you. There is one option here which basically give you basically that feature to switch to the classic UI, which is the old UI. This is the new one, which is displayed the project like in this basically toolbar here, and the old one which already showed you. So you would be able to go through each of them. So as I said, the most basically exciting part is this part, which is going through the administration of your projects, and you would be able to easily manage your projects. Right. If I want to go back to the user basically management, so TeamCity uh, has got the same feature as well as the other products or applications, which giving you those features like creating a groups or rules to make sure which sort of users has got what kind of rights or permissions to access to the builds, because there are lots of accessibilities or features in the TeamCity which need to be configured, like creating a projects, amending the configurations, triggering the builds, removing the builds. So any sort of basically configurations or manipulation could be happening within the TeamCity application. So you can't give the full access to any user. So if you have got, for example, you are working in the organization which require to have basically different multiple users with different rights, so definitely you require these sort of groups and rules to make sure who has got what rights. And based on that, so for example, let's say you want to give software or the dev teams sort of just like triggering the builds to, or for example the QAs, like they don't they shouldn't basically care about how the project is configured. They just want sort of accessibility to trigger the build and get the right, get the most recent build with different version, and just run a deployment on their environment, and get the application to be able to test it. So in this case, we shouldn't give them full access to, for instance, manipulating the projects. So actually, it doesn't make sense to have sort of this. So, as I said, for example, for the dev teams, you might need to give them that permission to be able to create the projects, to create a build project for the new project, running some configurations, and as well as they would be able to trigger the build for their own environments, or make sure the builds are working. Or sometimes there are some sort of failure in the builds which are not real, and sometimes we are called them fake, basically failure. So you need to force the build to get the basically accurate and right results. So these are the basic accessibilities which you can easily manage it by groups and rules in your TeamCity. So it's not something fully open for everyone. So you need to manage it and customize it as you need. So just bear in your mind, and be careful about these basically accessibilities, which is very important, because there is a case of easily removing the project or removing the build, which shouldn't be like this. And for example, in the real world, is not something acceptable easily. So that's very important to know how to play with these things, and how to give the permissions or rights to different users. So be careful about them. The other thing is, which is very important to know is, so as soon as you create your account, automatically in the beta version of the TeamCity in cloud, you will get your instance. This is the instance which you introduced it in your application, and you mentioned that. So it would be actually your instance in the TeamCity. So for instance, in the real world, once you go to the TeamCity of instance of each organization, you will see, for example, the name of the company, or the name of the domain of the company, because they could have different domains, different TeamCity instances, which could be used. So it's completely based on the basically the business rules. So as you can see, what we have put for the instance is exactly now created for us. And so this is your URL from now on. Whenever you need to access to your TeamCity in cloud, you just need to have this URL, and just basically dump it into the browser, and log in to the TeamCity, and then bingo, you would have your TeamCity up and running, and you can easily um, play with your projects, builds, or creating a new things. Right. So the next step is, as we are going to communicate with our GitHub repositories, and make build projects out of our projects in GitHub. So you need to have your GitHub account as well. So we already discussed in our basically other videos in our channel, which is there is a specific playlist, which is GitHub. So you can easily go there and watch basically two sections, which is already completely discussed about the GitHub side, how to basically creating a free GitHub account, how to create the repository, how to push your project into the repository, and pull requests, all the basically GitHub world which you could be faced. with that. So as you can see, this is our GitHub repository, and as you can see, this is our account, which is the same as the TeamCity because we already use the TeamCity, the GitHub actually credentials to be able to create the TeamCity instance. So this is our GitHub repository, which is going to basically integrated with the TeamCity um, build here. So the next step, we are going to create our very first project, which is communicating with our GitHub repository. So bear with us to see how basically we are going to do that. Right. So now let's start with creating our new build project for our repository in the GitHub. So the first thing you need to do, just easily click on the create project, and in here there are some sort of features which most likely will be used by the users to be able to create the repository or project. So as far as we are using the GitHub, so we are by default clicking on this from github.com. So if you use the Bitbucket or you want to use the manual URL or configuring manually, it's absolutely up to you. So I'm going to create a build project based on my project on GitHub. So I just put the uh, what I'm gonna do, I'm going to basically click my repository, which is, as far as you are using this your GitHub account, as you can see, is automatically that those for example, if you have more repositories, you would be able to see a bigger list with your repositories here, because these are the advantages of using the same account for your GitHub and also the TeamCity, which is making it very easily to that's the whole point of integration between them. So without basically doing anything, you can easily, as soon as you create your project, it will basically automatically connected to your main repository, and then show you all the repositories which you have already. So I just need to click on this one, and is verifying the connection to your repository. So yeah, awesome. So as you can see, automatically the version basically control the or VCS is connected. Is been that connection is been automatically verified without doing anything. Easy job. So this integration make the life much more easier for you. So this is the build configuration name, which whatever you put here, it will be displayed as a build configuration. So I can just easily put it more descriptive and put like, okay, my Gando Tech Repo 1 build. So this is my build, which is for this repository, and just hit the proceed. So bingo, your first build project, the initial or scaffolding of that project has been created. So now the other major things in your build projects, I believe it's now a bit more familiar for you. If you dig in your basic mind and remember the TeamCity terminologies, this is one of the terminologies which we already discussed. That's why I said it's very important to basically uh, um, take this one in your mind and bear it in your mind to once you get to that stage and see them, you will understand, oh, okay, that was the reason of using this basically build a step. So that build a step is the steps of your build project, which is going to build your project and get the final basically successful result. So the general setting was creating your build project and then communicating with the GitHub, and then automatically the version control setting VCS has been created, which is connection to GitHub or your repository. And now this is the third major thing which you really need to do that, and that's the build steps. So as part of the build steps, you need to actually try to create your steps, and those steps are, for example, for our case, let me go back to my repository. So as you can see in my repository, my solution has got two projects. One project is the main project which is running, and the second one is my test project. So it means as part of my TeamCity build, uh, makes sense to have two steps, at least two steps for now, which is going to build my project to make sure my project, the first, the first basic thing is my project is building. So this is the main thing which is helping me to make sure, okay, my project is at least building, because sometimes different people are or users are connecting to the TeamCity, connecting to the GitHub, changing the code and push the changes to GitHub, and it's automatically go and trigger your TeamCity build. So they might break broken something. So they might be broken something, and without knowing that, because I several times seen dev members are basically changing something without building the project. I would say, okay, it's a tiny thing. Just let's open it in the Notepad Plus, or I don't know, somewhere, and just change that piece of line, and just make, oh, okay, that's just syntax changing, but we don't know. The best thing is to always build the project to make sure it's safe. But if for any case you forget to build your project, TeamCity will look after that and guarantee that for you to make sure, oh, okay, so if you change anything without building, it should be built in the TeamCity, and make sure, oh, okay, thumbs up, we got green, so the project is building. The second stage is our unit tests. So once we basically creating the project, adding a functionality or changing the functionality in any way, you need to write the unit test to make sure your functionality is working, or whatever you have added or you have changed is not affecting any other part of the projects. And also, apart from that, your piece of code is building and is meeting the criteria or acceptance criteria. So that's why the unit testing is really helpful in the dev basically perspective, to make sure, oh, okay, whatever I have implemented, it's working and it's basically meeting the criteria. So again, you would be able to easily build your or run your unit test on your project and make sure you get green. But also you can create a TeamCity stepped unit test step to do this for you as well, to make sure, oh, okay, your build based on these unit tests, the stuff is working, still is working, and you get green. So these are the two minimum steps normally you do to make sure your project is working. But as part of the CD pipeline as well, so in the future you want to add your deployments, basically steps to your project as well. So that's why I said in the near future we are going to integrate TeamCity with the Kubernetes to say, okay, as soon as you hit the build, it will, as soon as you change the code, so this is a real time CI and CD, which as soon as you change the code in your TeamCity in your project, it will be pushed to the GitHub, and then GitHub will inform the TeamCity. TeamCity will trigger your build, and your build is going to build your project, run your unit test, and then run the deployment to basically push your changes into the right environment. So these are all the configurations which could be happening in the TeamCity to make sure everything goes to the right place. So that's very important. But as part of the CI, up to building your project and make sure that the unit tests are working. This is the CI part, which is make sure, oh, okay, now I've got my project verified. Thumbs up, green, happy, happy day. So yes, this is the project. So as far as I can see, I have to basically create um, two steps of the build to make sure, okay, it's going to build my project. So also, as part of this, I'm going to basically create my basically um, my build projects to make sure, okay, they are going to build my applications and make sure they are how can I say, they are creating, they are building my project and my project is completely working. So if I want to go to my build project here, let's see what has been done. So because it was only the wizards which was basically automatically doing the job for you, and it's much more easier because we are integrating our basically TeamCity with the GitHub. So some of these things which could be done manually, it has been done automatically. So the first thing, we have created the project, the build project, which as you can see here, this is the project ID which is making your project build project um, unique in whole your TeamCity world, because this is not the only project you are creating in your TeamCity. So there are hundred or thousands of builds based on your basically business variety. It will be created in your TeamCity. So that's why you have to have the unique project ID. Okay, so there is a description here which you can just put some dump some information about what is basically these projects. So what this project is doing. The other basically major things as part of your project is the build configuration. So you can have multiple build configurations based on your build project here. So sometimes your build project is not only talking about one piece of work. So it could be different things. And maybe, for example, as part of your project, you don't want to bring the deployment part as part of your build steps. And you want to do it separately without or manually. So in this case, you have to create a separate build configuration step here rather than in the build step inside your main project here as part of these build steps, because the point is, as soon as your build project is being hit here, so automatically it will go through all build steps which you already introduced here. And sometimes you have to really be careful, you do be careful, basically you have to be careful to make sure is not basically something wrong within these steps, because it could make a mess with your environments. So please be careful about the steps you are introducing here. The other thing is each step could be edited here. They are editable, and also you can disable the steps. So, or easily you can basically touch and disable your step. Okay, say for now, I wanna disable this step. I don't wanna go through this step. You can disable it for a while or deprecate it, but you want to keep the track, so you don't want to remove the step. So you can just easily disable it. So what I've done now, let me go back to the project and come to the each step as we go. So this is the project, basically the main build basically project, which is the generic one. And then you have got your build configurations, which you can have multiple build configuration, and each build configuration has got its own steps. So that's why you have to be careful what basically you are creating. Also, you could have build configuration templates or sub projects, which we go through them as basically is required. So at the moment, we are just concentrating on the build configuration, which is the main step. So for creating the build configuration, you just need to click on the create build easily. That's it. So if I click on this one, you can easily copy your build configuration, move your build configuration, or delete the build configuration. So the thing is, you can easily make a clone of your build project. So for instance, you have got different projects and they are going to follow the same convention or the same steps or the same projects, and you don't want to take that basically hassle or and make your life much more easier, instead of going through all these process again and again and manually. Just copy your build project and or even these basically build configurations and just dump it in the new project without any problem. So these facilities are giving you that ability to just copy or move your build projects. And also, as part of the edit, you can easily click on the edit and change whatever you want in your build configurations. So the other thing is, so in terms of the basically artifacts, so there are some configurations here. You would be able to choose, okay, please publish my artifacts even if the build is failed, or only once the build is um, the status is successful, which means that build configuration is basically build, which normally they use this one. And these are some sort of basically artifact builds which is based on your requirement. You could basically go and use them. So these are the configuration about the pod, whatever basically you require to do as you need. Right. So there are variety of things which you might basically face with them, but we are going to use them and explain them as we require talk about them. So one of the other thing is the build counter, the build number. So this is the parameters, which is the built-in parameter, and you can use it here to say, okay, this is my build, currently my build number, and the counter, you can start it from whatever number you want. So these are the numbers which will be displayed in your each build which you are doing as part of your build project. So you can put any number here, you can reset it every time you want, and this is the parameter which is picking the build counter from here. So these are the built-in basically parameters. And the other thing is, for using the parameter, you need to put your parameter name between these basically percentage, and that's it. So you can easily use it. So the other thing which we require to know is uh, the VCS, which is the version control settings. So as part of the version control setting, we already faced with that because we automatically added this basically by GitHub. So if you go and click on edit, as you can see, the VCS which we are using is the GitHub, and the VCS root name, as you can see, this is my GitHub URL connection, and this is the root ID, is exactly the same as the project ID, which make it unique. And this is my GitHub URL, which could be basically picked from here, and this one for GitHub and any other features. And this is the default branch, which is basically communicating with the master. So anytime you are basically you want to basically pick the changes. So this is the default branch which we going to basically to monitor it, and whenever is something change, we will pick it from there. Right. So in terms of the default branch, As you can see, this basically default branch is only monitoring the main or master. So it is up to basically whatever you say in your um, GitHub. So as you can see, it's just called main. Normally they call it master. You can change it to whatever you want. It's up to you. So sometimes you want to monitor the other branches as well, whatever is being created in your GitHub as a branch. So it doesn't matter. Some companies has got some conventions in terms of this. So if you click on Show Advanced Options in the Edit Branch Suggest specification, you can basically monitor um, some of the other formats of branching or excluding them. So to achieve this goal, you can easily use, for example, plus and then use refs and a slash like heads and then a slash and then, for example, a star to say, okay, under the head, whatever branches is there, monitor them. Either is main, is any other basically naming, whatever, or for example also cover refs slash heads slash like for example sometimes they are saying, okay, if you want to create these are the sort of conventions and organ or categorizing your branching in your to make it more basically clean and clear rather than making mess, dumping everything in the same place. So some for example dev teams are saying, okay, whenever you want to create a new feature or you have got a ticket is creating a new functionality in your branch, so then whenever you want to do that, create a new folder in your git extension, for example, and then check out your master under this folder, like using the feature, and then create your own branch in there. So in this case, your project would be refs slash heads slash features and then your branches. So anything, for example, under features, feature and then slash star. So any branches under the feature will be monitored as well. Or for example, you have got hot fixes. So you want to add like plus refs slash heads slash hotfix and then a slash star, so whatever is under this one, or also like for example, I don't know, bug colon refs slash heads slash uh, bug slash star. So you can put as much as you want in there without any actually issue. So it's up to your basically process, whatever you want to do based on that, you will add it. And also the authentication part, which we are basically communicating with our GitHub based on the password. So you just need to add your credentials here. So sometimes they are using these credentials or so normally it's better to use sort of the main administration user ID, which is connected to that um, GitHub account. Or you can use, we have the SSH part as well, which is going through the public-private keys. So you need to choose these options and then put your SSH key here to be able to generate your access key or access token and then communicate with your GitHub repository. So we already talked about all these things in once we wanted to use the Git extension to communicate with GitHub. So any external party which is communicating with GitHub need to use one of these ways. So this is the whole thing. So TeamCity also is not exception from this basically category. And But at the moment, we just sticking to the password. We should be using the GitHub account, which is here. And the other thing is, yeah, that's the whole thing. And so the other thing we have is the test connection. So you have to make sure your connection is successfully basically open to the TeamCity, to the GitHub. So these are the communications. These are the things which is automatically added once you created the GitHub repository for VCS. But we just added those basically extra monitoring to your branch. So whenever you have a branch, you create or pushing anything to that branch, now it will be captured and catches by the TeamCity to be able to create your own build. The other thing is these build steps. As you remember, we just had basically a list to tick them off, and they have been created for us automatically. But now you can create your build step easily here and just use it wherever you want. So this is the build step. Once you create the build step, it will show you basically the details which you need to provide, like the runner type. So for building your project, you just need to use the .NET basically. Build is like those SDK runtime packages which you need from the .NET framework to be able to run or build your projects. And this is the step name, so whatever you can put basically whatever you want here. So this is the step which I'm going to build uh, my project, something like this. And the command is running the build, and the project is this one, which is my basically solution. But I prefer to use my own project because this build is specifically for this step is my for my project, my main project. So I just add this one and remove the solution, because once you use the solution, what it does, it will go through the whole projects available in that solution. But once you use the specific project, that step specifically build that project. And any other things which basically at the moment we are what we do, we just communicating with that specific project which we need to choose it here. So now I just basically save my build. As you can see, my build step now is changed. So if I wanna disable this build step, I can just disable it. So once you run your build project, which is this one, this step won't be triggered. So this is to just bypass these steps. So I'm gonna just enable it again and go through the test one. It's pretty much the same again. The only difference is, so this one is, as you can see, is automatically now selected for to run my test project. So, and the command is testing. So this is a test which is going to be run against my project. So you just need to save this one as well. And now your test project, your build steps, everything is ready, and you can just basically run your build. The other thing which is really important is also the parameters. So sometimes as part of your TeamCity job, you would be able to create different parameters and use them as part of your projects. These basically parameters could be configuration parameters, could be system parameters, could be environment variable parameters. For instance, let's say you want to send some variable parameters from your TeamCity to your project, which is using the environment variable. So you can just easily create it here and then pass it to your project accordingly. For creating the parameters, you can just click on this add new parameter and put your parameter name and choose which categories belong to, and then put your default value. And sometimes you can have this raw basically part which is giving more features to your parameter, like let's say you want to make it mandatory as part of your run. As soon as you click on run, it's not going to trigger your build. At first, it will ask for your parameters, and then once you provide that parameter value, it will allow you to kick the build and run the build. So these are the things which you normally use to basically run your builds. The other thing is like basically using the templates. So in some companies, rather than every time going through all these steps, what they do, they are creating a template, and then whenever you wanna create a new build project, you just attach that template to your project. That's very important and very easy. So as I said, you remember we have a copy steps or copy build steps in your basically project, which like this one, like for example, copy build a step or move it. So by creating the templates, you can easily let's say you have got always 6 steps in your builds, which is always the same. The only thing is some of those values are different. So the only thing is you just need to create a template of 6 steps and just add it here. And as soon as you go to extract template, you can easily put basically your template here and just select it and then add it. Automatically it will be added to your build project. So these are for making basically things much more easier and quicker once you're creating any build projects. So the other major things which is very important is checking the history. So as you can see, there is a history here which exactly show you what has been done so far against your project, your build project, and with all the basically logs here. So always you can keep a track what has been done and by whom. So that's very important. And even here, you can easily view the changes to see, okay, what has been done. Oh, okay, this one has been changed, for example. So that's very important to know. You can keep the history here, and every time you want, for example, you go to the build is not working, and it's interesting for you. So what you do, okay, so let's basically find out why this build is not working. You can just check the history and see how and why it didn't work. So now our project scaffolding is now ready. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna click on the projects here. Wow, congratulations. You have got your build project is here, and this is your build basically configuration. So as you can see, there are some branches here. At the moment we are just communicating with the main one, and also you have got this branch as well. Why? Because if I go here, as you can see, we have got 2 branches here, so you can run a build against these branches. So if you select your specific branch, it will show you the list of all the builds so far has been done. Or if you select your branch, it will show the branches, and if you select on all branches, it will show you all the branches builds which so far has been done. If you click on the configuration, it will go take you to the configuration site which we already uh, basically were there shortly. If you want to run it, you can just hit the run here. So I'm gonna run it once to see um, basically if I'm selecting the main, running the project to see basically how it's working. So as you can see, it's a start building your basically changes. So as you can see, as part of this record, it's showing the build number, which is my first build, and it's coming from the build counter. This is the branch which I'm running the build agent against that. This is the status of the build. So it's saying the triggered uh, in a few seconds. So yeah, as you can see, now my build queue is 1. So if I go there, as you can see, it says, okay, this build counter, this is the branch, and this is the build configuration, and it's triggered by you. And for example, if many users are accessing, it will show all the users here. And then time to start, it's not specified yet. We have got 3 agents, which could be basically this project could be run against them. So it will show you once this build is starting, it will show you, okay, this is running against this agent. So as you can see, the queue is cleaned now because it's already basically ran. As you can see, it's running now. There is no changes because we already basically have done the changes. This is the agent which is dedicated to this run, and this is the basically duration of the test. If I click on this run, as you see, it will show me the details of the run which is happening. So if you go to the build log, it will show you all the things step by step which has been done by you. So as you see, I've got 2 steps. Step 1, which was building my project, as you can see, it has been happened and my build has successful. So the first step has been done successfully. Then the second build, which is the .NET, I'm going to test to change it to make it more visible. So that one is also running through the test project to see my test project is also running. And as you can see, it ran the unit tests. So as far as my basically, let me go back to my repository, go to the test, and as far as part of my test project, I've got 2 unit tests, which as you see, both of them has been ran and both of them has been passed, and that's why my build is successfully done. So this basically is what is saying is, for example, if your any of these tests is basically wrong or failed, your step will be completely failed, and you have to, and it gives you, okay, that test has been failed. Please go and fix it. So then you have to go back to your project, investigate why that test is failing. Either the test is wrong, or the functionality which you have changed or added to that piece of work is broken, is breaking the test. So you have to fix it then, and then push your changes, and then see the TeamCity is working for you. So this is all about the things which has been happened. This is the artifacts which basically showing you what has been happened so far and what you have. So these are all the things about your projects. And these are the parameters which at the moment we have got these parameters which are running against the project. All of these are the system parameters. So we don't have any customized parameters which is belong to ourselves. As you can see, the build counter, the build number, the VCS number, and all other things which could be basically used in your projects. So this is the like TeamCity agent version. There are a lot of information which basically could be helpful for you once you are investigating your build projects. And these are the tests. As you can see, as part of your repository, they have been run and they have been successfully passed. And these are the changes if you have any, which at the moment we don't have any changes, and this basically build has been um, ran against the main, which was my master. So just bear in your mind, always you have to make sure which branch are you building. And this is the overview of this basically build has been done against this agent, and basically the time taken for that basically build, and the duration, what has been happened so far in this part, and then also how many tests it has been passed. So these are all the information about your TeamCity. So now uh, by watching this video, you can see easily you can build your your build project in your TeamCity, come integrated with GitHub repository which you have, and anything happen to the GitHub, it will inform the TeamCity to, hey, TeamCity, I've got some changes in place. Please run a build automatically and make sure the changes are right. So let's go back to the GitHub now, and Uh, yes. So yeah, this is part of the GitHub, which basically I wanted to show you. At the moment, we have these things. So what I'm gonna do now, in my basically final step, bear with us to see basically what's going on and what will be happened. So let me go back to my projects again in here. And now, as you can see, the list of the history of the builds are displayed now. So in my all branch, I've got only one build which has been done against the main. So if I select the main, you will see it. If I select my Gando, it will be disappeared because there is no build happened against the um, branches. Right. So the next step is now um, we are going to create a new branch from our project, do some changes, and push the changes to GitHub and see what's going on in the TeamCity. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to check out a new branch and just name it um, change tests, and then create my branch. So don't worry about that. The Git extension which I'm doing at the moment is already explained in my previous videos in the GitHub section, GitHub playlist. So if you go there, there are two um, videos there which completely explain to you how to integrate all these things with GitHub and Git extension. So no worry about that. Just go there and watch those videos. Then you will be completely clear about what's going on. So just watch those videos. So I've created my branch here. I go to my Visual Studio, and as you can see, this is my project. This is my solution. This is my solution here. We have got two projects and the test project, and as you can see, it's connected to my repository in the GitHub, and this is my active branch at the moment. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to intentionally actually fail this test. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just running the test against them and see what's going on. The test explorer. So let's okay. The test is at the moment running. Wow, it's running now. Oops. So this test is failing and that one is working. So I'm gonna push these changes to GitHub so that my changes fix my uh, okay, change my unit test, and then so I'm gonna just change this one to the right branch. So by pushing this change, it will push my changes to this branch. If that branch is not created, it will create it for us. So all changes, nice one. So all gone to GitHub. I'm going to GitHub and see, yes, I've got my change test here. Nice one, nice one. So my changes are in basically GitHub as a new branch. So let's go have a look to here, okay, as you can see, one build is in queue. So let's go and have a look to the queue. What's going on? Wow, exciting, exciting part. As you can see, as soon as I push my changes into this branch inform the TeamCity and say, oh, TeamCity, I've got something. Please go and have a look. If I go to this build configuration, it's showing me, okay, this user has done some changes, and if I click on these changes and have a look to the details, it will show me, oh, okay, uh, something has been changed in this branch, and this is the changes. That was this change on this file, and if I click on that, it will show me the differences here. See, it's completely powerful and very um, integrated. So if you click on the uh, build configuration now, it's starting the build against this agent for me. And the first step is going to be build, which is my main project. And as you can see, is using the SDK version 5. Build successfully. Now the second stage, which is my test. Oh, 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 oh. Bad news. There is a bad news. Ow, my test is failed. So the first test has been done successfully, but the second one has been failed. Why? Because it was expecting false, but the actual result was true. So see, the test run failed, build failed. Now, if you go back here, uh-oh, as you can see, my build with this branch is failed. And in this situation, uh, then you can easily basically inform, oh, okay, something wrong is in your branch. So go and fix it, please. So if I create my pull request here, I'm just show you some stuff. So checking for ability the merging. Uh, yes. So and where is it? Yes. So I just put the create the what's the name, the GitHub pull request to just show you. Okay, this is the step of creating these things. So bear with me to go back and fix the unit test and see what's going on. Well, so uh, now I go back to my Visual Studio and fix. Okay, I've investigated. I found that, oh, okay, this is the culprit. So I run the test again to make sure everything is fine now, is working. So let's have a look to the tests. Nice one. Yeah, I've got green. So let's push my changes to fix unit test and then push it to the branch. Awesome. So let's go back to my GitHub in my branch. Now let's have a look to my changes. So that's my changes. I've got my commits here. So this is my commit the fix unit test. And let's go back to the TeamCity. So let's have a look if there is anything in here. So assign investigation. Nice one. See, it will pick the other one. That's the build. Let's have a look. It's based on your build agent and your basically projects, and the number of the builds is always sometimes taking a while to get your build. So this one is successful. The second step, ooh, nice one, it's successful, and we got test our building now. Right, so congratulations, you have got your project as a um, branch is now building. So now if you go back to your pull request and uh, change my unit test, so you have got your changes here, and you want to merge your changes to the master. So that pull request is already created. I will merge it with my master. So after you merged it, so we want to now show my code is already, I mean the master or the main has got my changes. So let's have a look. Yes, my changes is here. Let's go back to the TeamCity and see. Um, so now I'm expecting my main master or my main branch start building. So let's have a look. So it's taking some time. Give it the time. Mhm. Okay, so now the new one with the master has been picked. The first step is going to be done. We have got three changes, these two commits, and also the merging to the change test. And as you can see, the second step has been passed as well. So, and also you got green from the main. So now we have got all branches all working, and yeah, that's whole about TeamCity. So now you have got your project basically built on TeamCity. You know how to create your project, how to create the builder steps, and how to manage all this integration between the GitHub and TeamCity. So this is the basically basic and fairly enough information about integration between the TeamCity and the GitHub. So hope you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe to our channel in the case of new uploads, and also supporting us. So there are a lot of videos are coming along, and one of those videos would be integration between the TeamCity and the deployment part with Kubernetes. So we have already talked about, a lot about the GitHub, the Dockerization, the Kubernetes, how to run the deployment on Kubernetes. Now, in this video, we talked about integration between GitHub and TeamCities, which is very important. And the next one is going to be integration between TeamCity and Kubernetes to how to run, deploy, and run your applications on Kubernetes via the TeamCity. So that would be another exciting video which basically will be coming shortly. So keep watching and keep an eye on our channel to basically see new videos. And I do recommend you to go and watch the previous videos to get your head around all these basically things which is happening together. So hope you enjoyed this video. uh, Thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.